So, Nicola, one thing we've talked about this week a little bit with Tracy and James, and you being an active player, I'd be curious about your view on this. Of course, Maria Sharapova's situation hangs over the entire sport right now. Let's just assume that at some point Maria is going to play again. I've always been taken in tennis how players are very tough on each other about obeying the rules and about respecting the integrity of competition. Just give us your personal sense on how you think Maria would be accepted when she comes back.
Yeah, I think it's a tough subject. I think we'll find out more in these coming months about, when she's able to come back, if anti-doping is going to come down hard on her. I'm not really sure that I have the most up-to-date information, but as far as I'm concerned, I think Maria Sharapova playing tennis on tour is great for my sport, is great for the WTA. So from my perspective, I'm happy if we find out that she didn't do anything incriminating. So for me, I would, be very happy to see her back on tour. And I know there are players who feel differently about that, feel like maybe she wouldn't be punished fully if she was back soon. But for me, I think her value to our sport, it speaks for itself.
Yeah, and then another hot topic, unfortunately, the Ray Moore issue at Indian Wells. And you did a great job being part of the press conference in Miami to address that situation about equal prize money. Talk to us about that issue.
First of all, being handed the microphone in a press conference on gender equality with Billie Jean King was probably one of the top 10 most stressful moments of my life, and I'm a professional tennis player. So I was definitely very nervous. I kept fumbling over my words, and I felt like I was so out of place.
You were intimidated by those legends?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was definitely intimidated, as am I by you, by the way. But it was just such a crazy experience. I had just been messaging with Billie the night before, kind of talking about the Ray Moore comments. I had been getting into a little spat on Twitter with some people who were supporting Ray Moore's comments, and I kind of messaged her and I was like, Billie, I don't know how you did this for so long on your own, kind of fighting on this side of the fight, thank you for everything you've done. And she was like, what, if you want inspiration for your blog, you should come to our press conference tomorrow. And so I took her up on it, and I was so surprised when she gave me the microphone. I was like, oh no, this is not what I signed up for.
Very inclusive.
Yeah, and she, I tried to back off. I was like, no, this is you. And she was like, you know what, you have to take responsibility. This is a mentoring opportunity for me, and I want there to be players who are going to be willing to pick up the microphone when I'm not doing that anymore.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
I can't speak, you talked at the beginning about using social media, maybe in a therapeutic way about your own situation at the end of the year, but to use it to take a stance. And you've lived through seeing Venus do the very same thing to follow Billie Jean in the equal prize at Wimbledon battle. So good for you. You used your Stanford education well.
I'm trying.
2 years, right? Did you go 2? Three. So you got one more year. Are you ever going to finish after tennis?
I think I will. I get to ask that question a lot, and it's kind of check with me in 8 years or whenever I am kind of on the downswing of my tennis. But my plan is definitely to go back and to get my degree after putting 3 hard years in. I definitely want the cherry on top.
Yeah, you put in the hard work.
Yeah.